Metroidvania, a genre of action-adventure games built around freedom and discovery, where the world opens up as you uncover secrets, collect key abilities, and backtrack to conquer areas that once felt impossible. There's just something about these games. You explore, fight, and save a huge crop, and your path is blocked. So you go through another way. You explore, you fight, and get double jump, allowing you to pass obstacles you couldn't before. This is the main game loop for Metroidvania in simple terms, and it does not fail grabbing the average gamer's attention. Hollow Knight made $269 million, so I thought, what if I made my own Metroidvania and get rich? So I opened up a new Unity project, but there's one problem. I still can't draw. So I used Kenny's 1-bit asset pack, which honestly looked perfect. Then I made a movement script with acceleration and deacceleration for smooth controls, slapped in some animation, and boom, movement was done. Next up, combat. My idea was a sword that follows the player, and when you click, it attacks to the left or right, depending on your mouse position. On top of that, I wanted a combo system with 3 attacks, 2 quick ones, and 1 big finishing swing. I mean, how hard could this be? Well, it was actually pretty easy. I just made 3 attack animation, and if you click before the combo timer runs out, you chain into a next attack. Which means, yes, I am now a professional combat designer. Now that our little gremlin is bloodthirsty, we need to add some enemies. You guys might find this surprising, but I still can't draw for shit. So I found this cool 1-bit asset pack, which had amazing pixel art. Inside the asset pack, what piqued my interest was a crab. So I put him in a scene, slapped in some script. Now the Mr. Crab can take damage. Yeah, so that's movement and combat done, which already makes this the most progress I've ever made in one day. On day 2, I woke up and watched a bunch of reels. And right when I was trying to get back to making games, the power cut off. What a shame. I guess I'll have to watch more reels. Until at 6 PM, the power came back. What a shame. That means I only have 3 hours to work on my game, because my bedtime is at 9 o'clock sharp. When I opened the project, it looked pretty bland. So today, I decided to make a map. Easy, right? Wrong.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done in game dev. You place a tile and ask yourself, can the player jump over this? And hit play, and nope, they can't. So you lower it, and now that's too low.
And suddenly, you realize you spent 2 hours arguing with the tile map. This is game development. And after 2 hours, we have this. Pretty disappointing if you ask me. This whole stage only takes about a minute to complete. Scope small, right? After this, I remembered I needed to add more enemies. So I coded the crab script that goes left and right endlessly. And I made another enemy, which is a skeleton that follows you when you are near him. And with that, day 2 is done, or technically just 3 hours. Same thing. On this day, I added a boss that has 2 states, charging and throwing axes. I think this turned out pretty well. Obviously, I didn't write the code, but hey, it works. And I added this exclamation mark before the boss attacks, so I think that's a cool touch. And of course, every boss needs its own cutscene. I just made a simple camera transition from the player to the boss, but this took a little bit too long. And lastly, I finished off with a new enemy, the wasp. This annoying little will fly near you and do a dash attack that can hit you multiple times, leading to multiple knockbacks, leading to more falling. It's day 4, which means we only have 3 days to finish this game, so we have to make the map quick. I was scraping away, just painting the tile map one by one. I remembered Unity has a feature called dynamic tiling that allows you to automatically place tiles based on which can be placed next to it. And this made map making 10 times more easier. And I finished another area that I will be adding a boss. I picked this pixel art that looked cool, and I started making the code for it. First, I made a sword animation that goes up and will try to stab the player. But if the player doesn't stop, this will be too easy. So I added a prediction system that'll predict where the player will go and it will spawn the sword there, making it really f***ing annoying. Originally, I thought about adding 3 weapons, a dagger, a broadsword, and a bow. So I decided to make a bow, but it just wouldn't go my way. The code keeps breaking and I don't know why. So I decided to work on a broadsword, until I realized axes are way cooler than swords. So I chose this axe pixel art and started working on the animation. This is basically the sword, but with only 2 attacks and higher attack damage. On day 5, the power cut off again, which left me with only a short amount of time to focus on my game. On day 5, I just added small tweaking and added a health UI. And our third weapon, a revolver, it has 6 bullets, each bullet doing a decent amount of damage, and somehow it was end of day 5. It's day 6 and now I'm starting to worry if I can finish the game now. So the first thing I did was finish the map, and we need a final boss. And we need our final boss to look cool as possible. So when I looked at the 1-bit enemy pack that was just too plain and found this cool samurai asset. This guy looks cool, so I'm using it. After making the animation of it, I didn't like it. So I tried to use another asset that has a cool knight in it, but it didn't also sit right with me. So I reverted back to option 1, to use a 1-bit monster pack. So here's the final boss. It will fly in random directions and occasionally ram at you, and it makes a shockwave. Here's the interesting part. Its attacks are based on what weapon you are using. For example, if you're using a dagger, it uses a dagger. Oh, you're using an axe? It spawns a massive axe to attack at you. Lastly, to finish the day off, I made a cutscene animation, and if we defeat the final boss, the game quits. And that's it for f***ing day 6. So on day 10, I finished up making the main menu and sound effects. And I didn't really tweak the game, so it's gonna be really unfair. And I realized there is no heal system, so you can't really gain back health. And it doesn't have any respawn system, so if you die, the whole game restarts. So yeah, that's it. And to answer the question, yes, I can make a Metroidvania in a week. Just not a good one. This game has too many bugs, but So yeah, technically I did make a Metroidvania in 7 days. It's just not a good one. But hey, Hollow Knight took 4 years. I had 1 week.